we have the Kick Demon now. She's going to be at the Smash Wrestling Can USA Classic this Saturday, July 22nd, facing off against LuFisto. Folks, it's the Kick Demon herself. It's Janai Kai. How you doing, Janai?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Yep.
Great.
Cool. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing really well. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
I hope we do not have beef right off the start, as I have put my Kick God headline there, and I have a shirt that says Kick. I would like to be on the same team with you. We could do a God Demon type of thing instead of battling each other.
Yeah, that's fine. I have to put a title on under my name. Forgot to do that.
Okay, so if you go into settings, in general, you know what? Listen, you got Demon X Bunny, you got Allie and Rosemary. So what about Jeremy and Janai? They could be the
no, her name first. Her name first.
Okay, Janai, Jeremy. I was just it just flows off the tongue. There you go, Janai and Jeremy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Put it in the notes, Jeremy Lambert. And then inevitably you two split up because Janai's going to kick you in the face.
Yeah, that sounds about
right. It has to happen sometime. Sorry.
Yeah. Look, I understand. I totally get it of me getting kicked. Can I replace Yo-Yo though? Like, is he still part? I know there's Yokai, but like, can I replace him?
He's been kicked enough by me. I mean, he needs a little bit of a break. So.
So right off the bat, you're going to be facing LuFisto. This isn't your first time taking on LuFisto. There is a clash of styles there. First of all, how do you prepare for a legend like LuFisto, especially going into, you're in Canada and that's her home base, and you're going to be facing her at Smash Wrestling's Can USA Classic this Saturday in London, Ontario. It's July 22nd. Talk to me about facing LuFisto, because again, not the first time.
No, this is going to be the third time, actually. And every single time I wrestle LuFisto, it's in Canada, which is crazy. Because we've been on the same cards over here in the U.S. Every time we wrestle each other, it has to be in Canada. And yeah, the third time, I mean, I stay studying LuFisto. I continue to watch her matches just so that I can keep, making sure, what else does she do? Because she's been here for a while, so she always has something surprising, like in the ring. So I always want to keep up with her work, study like the past matches, and just best prepare that way. But yeah, I definitely like the past couple of matches. We've gone pretty hard, and I enjoyed wrestling LuFisto. I learned a lot from wrestling her, so I know for sure this third time around. I mean, hey. If we went hard the first two times, I mean, this time around, that's it. Like, it's literally going to be as hard as can be.
I want to ask about the Japanese, the Joshi style of wrestling. You've been to Japan, wrestled for Tokyo Joshi Pro, and you've faced a lot of Joshi talent. You just faced. I apologize if I get the name wrong. But Yaha Shishita, Yaha Shishita, Utami Yaha Shishita.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You just faced her. Like, what about the Joshi style that appeals to you and feels like suits your strengths?
Well, the Joshi style, it immediately grabbed my attention since day one of training. I always wanted to figure out, where do I actually fit in this industry? Like, my style is pretty different, and I know there is shoot style and all of that, but like when I started watching like Joshi style and more Japanese wrestling overall, I saw that they had some sort of martial arts background. There was a lot of that influence over there. So I thought, hey, let me just keep studying this style. This seems like the place that I could be at. So ever since then, I just stuck to that goal of just ending up over there. But wrestling with Tommy was like another thing, because Tommy was trained by Kagetsu, who was in Stardom, and I always loved Kagetsu. So just the fact that I was able to face Utami, it was pretty cool, and I hope to wrestle Tommy again.
I saw a brutal last woman standing match between yourself and Sawyer Wreck. This is a JCW Uncensored. Mm-hmm. What the hell went into that match? Because at the end, you guys were, first of all, you were both just walloping each other. You made it all look real good. Talk to me about facing Sawyer Wreck, because she's certainly gotten a lot of eyes on her lately.
Yes. So me and Sawyer actually kind of started around the same place. Like, we were in Orlando, Florida training around the same time. So I've been able to see Sawyer's growth literally from her day one days. So like it's pretty cool to actually see where she's at now. And that we're both kind of thriving together in a way, because we literally started around the same area, and now we're just traveling everywhere, going to Japan. She's killing it on GCW with the death matches, and that's awesome to see that she's actually found what she loves to do in wrestling too. That's always a good thing. So I love just seeing her in general. She's a good spirit.
Are there any plans to return to Japan? You mentioned wanting to face Utami again, like possibly in Japan?
So I hope that does happen. I am returning to Japan August 1st, and then I'll be there for 2 months. So it's gonna be for a longer time. I don't know all of my opponents. I do have a good handful of matches lined up, like as far as what shows I'm doing, but I don't know my opponents yet. It's always surprising though, because the first match that I'm doing when I go back is a 8-woman tag, and I have opponents like Dash Chisako on the other side. So I get to face against Dash. Like it's just crazy to me, like that I'm having these opportunities and facing people that I just studied. So that's what's coming up as far as Japan goes.
I ask everybody this who has been to Japan. Did you go to Ribera?
I did not.
Okay.
And a lot of people ask me why, but like I don't know. I'm hearing different things about it, but I know I have to end up going. But that's definitely the plan. Since I'm going to be there for 2 months, I have to go eventually.
You have to go, and then you got to give a review of it, because I don't know how much you have heard about it, but the general consensus review is that like Ribera, great wrestling lore, big spot for the wrestlers, food not actually that great. So I would like your review of the actual food when you go.
Yeah, I will definitely review the food, because I heard similar things.
See, it's a thing. It's a common thing in wrestling.
You've worked so many different styles of wrestling, and I know right now you're going to be going back to Japan and working a more Joshi style, and also you have so many backgrounds and disciplines in various forms of combat and mixed martial arts and everything. What is your favorite match style to work, or maybe a stipulation that you like most working in?
Well, yeah, I definitely love doing like shoot style, UWF, like type style matches. It's always fun because I don't really have to think too much. Like I kind of, it's like that's my thing. Like I'm just going with the flow of the whole match, and wrestling other people who have that background as well is awesome, because it's like I've been wrestling a lot of people who have like a jiu-jitsu background, and then seeing that clash of styles go, like it's just awesome what kind of magic we can create. So that's always fun for me.
You've done a couple of Bloodsport matches. One, we got to get you a victory at Bloodsport. I know Masha, that's a tough out. Can you face Yo-Yo at Bloodsport? You can easily beat him.
Hey, if they want to do that, I don't mind.
Is Yo-Yo the person you've kicked the hardest, do you think?
I'm not sure. It's been a while since the last time we had a singles match, so I can't really remember. I mean, I just be going hard on everyone. Doesn't matter who you are. So, not sure.
Hold on. If you're kicking people hard, who's kicked you the hardest?
Oh, okay. I will say that Mike Bailey has kicked me the hardest. It's between Mike Bailey and Kevin Blackwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the appeal to you when it comes to, you mentioned wrestling Mike Bailey, Kevin Blackwood? I know you've wrestled Violence is Forever. They go very hard in the ring as well. Like doing intergender wrestling, I know it's some people have mixed feelings on it, but your overall thoughts on intergender wrestling and getting in there and making it look real against men who might be bigger than you?
So I kind of just still stick to like making it look like this is a reality, like woman versus man type deal. Like if you're watching a martial arts movie, you see sometimes there's martial arts movies where like the leading role is a woman and she's fighting all these guys. So I kind of think in that mindset, like I'm imagining myself in a martial arts movie and I'm facing these guys and just whooping their ass. Like that's kind of like how I picture it. So yeah, I just stick to who I am, and of course, everyone just wants me to see me kick someone in the face. So that's always the goal.
You did your first YouTube live recently. How
I
did that?
did.
You're kind of venturing into the streaming world, are you? Is it something that you would want to keep doing, or is it just kind of a test run for now?
So I was doing Twitch for the longest since like 2020. I've been doing Twitch, and then I kind of saw that like I was getting a lot of like engagement. A lot of people were coming through, but also I was thinking maybe YouTube Live might be a little bit better because I do watch a lot of lives on there, and I kind of want to reach out to other people who don't have Twitch. So I want to stream on other platforms, like make a variety of streaming platforms. I do like YouTube Live a lot. I did it yesterday, and I had a good number of people coming in asking me questions. And I think for YouTube, I'm going to be more organized with it, because with Twitch, I always go into Twitch just trying to figure out what to do on the spot, and then figuring out which game I'm going to play, which I don't play a lot of games either. So I'm not too worried about just streaming somewhere else and not playing any games. So yeah, like I'm just venturing out, trying to figure out what's most comfortable for me. I love streaming because it kind of feels like I'm in my own world in a way. I'm sure you guys can relate. So yeah, it's fun, and I can just literally talk about whatever I want.
What was your favorite game you were playing when you did play some games?
I liked playing a lot of scary games, but I liked playing like Dead by Daylight. I was playing Stray the last time I streamed, which is like that cat game where you're just wandering around figuring out puzzles. Any type of puzzle game, but it kind of has like a scary type of vibe to it.
Have you heard of Hello Neighbor?
No.
Okay, so I had two recommendations for you. One is Hello Neighbor, and I'm completely blanking on the second one. I'll get it back. But Hello Neighbor is it won a bunch of awards, and yeah, it's a scary type puzzle game where you figure out how to break into a house and steal something. So,
Okay.
The man in the house like tries to basically kill you. So that is one to look out for. It's on Steam if you want to check it out there.
Okay, yeah, I do have Steam. That kind of reminds me of what's that other game that it's like a haunted house and you're going with your friends?
Phasmophobia.
Yeah, Phasmophobia.
Yeah, that's what I thought Jeremy was thinking of too.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. I do like playing that one. I haven't played that one in a while, but that game always gets me.
The jump cuts, like the amount of compilations on YouTube. Those
oh
are
my god.
Okay, so you and Killer Kelly have gone a little bit back and forth. When is that match happening? Where are we gonna do it? Come on, let's.
I would love to know, because she's been on Bloodsport as well, and hey, if we go at it at Bloodsport, I would love that. So I mean, we keep like passing by each other and all of that. It has to happen eventually.
She also has a style that, at least if you're watching Impact, it's a very unique style of handling her opponents. Is that something that you are ready for? Is that something you're looking forward to? She's a very, very different competitor.
Oh no, yeah, I very much look forward to it. I'm all for anything. Like I'm all for the tests, So I've been keeping an eye on her for a while. So I'm definitely ready, and I'm definitely curious of what kind of magic we can create, because I'm picturing a lot of things right now. So
you've wrestled at a lot of different companies across America and in Japan. Is there a venue or any place that stood out to you of being like the weirdest place you have wrestled at?
The weirdest place. There's been a couple of them, like when I was still wrestling over in Florida. There's been some very interesting spots where it's like you're wrestling like in a barn type thing, like at a farm, and it's like you're asking, oh, where's the locker room? And it's literally not even a locker room. It's like a room where like they used to keep the cows or something. Like it's like one of those, oh, where's the bathroom? We don't have a bathroom. Great. I guess I just gotta do nothing. Like just hold it in the whole time.
They got you changing in the stables. What's going on here?
did you guys think about this? Maybe not. Like, okay, cool.
Blew the budget on the ring rental.
Legit. Like, okay, good times.
We've had a few very interesting answers to the question of where the weirdest place people have wrestled are, and it includes, a prison yard. Was Johnny Gargano at one point said that in an interview.
Oh, wow.
We've had, I think, Speedball. What did Speedball told me a really weird one, like out in a field somewhere in a cave and stuff like that. So believe me, you're in good company if you're you're actually doing really well if the worst thing you're doing is holding it in and changing in the barn.
I guess.
We've gotten strip club a lot, or former strip club or things like that. That one's come up a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Airbnb house.
I want to ask about your background in Taekwondo, and you're a black belt there. Like, when did you start working on that? And then obviously you incorporate a lot of it into your wrestling style. But when did the love of Taekwondo come about?
It started when I was 6 years old. When I decided that I wanted to do it. I started watching wrestling around the same time too. But I don't know, there was something about martial arts that I loved. And I think it was just like the one-on-one action. Like, I love competing against myself. And I think martial arts is like the perfect spot to test yourself and to compete against yourself. So that's what kind of caught my attention with it. And like, after the first class, I was all for it. Like, I'm like, oh, I have to do better than I did this class. So I just kept going. And then getting to my black belt, like, that was very intense. Just the whole testing of it was, I still remember it till this day. It was just, I had to spar like 10 people at the same time, and I had to break 2 boards. I had to go through all the belt systems by performing all of like the forms nonstop. So I had to memorize all of that and do the whole thing nonstop in front of the masters. So that was very intimidating. But yeah, after that, I kind of took a break, and then I got into Muay Thai and kickboxing. And that kind of switched up my style a little bit, because Taekwondo, the way that they stand, the way that they do certain things is way different than Muay Thai. And so that kind of cleaned me up, I feel like, too. And then when I got into wrestling and I implemented that, I'm like, oh, okay, like, I see the flow. It's kind of relatable in a sense when you're moving around the ring. And so that's how I kind of decided that I was going to input that style.
Have you ever,
Sorry. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Have you ever done or have any interest in doing any type of, whether it be exhibition, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Taekwondo bouts?
Yeah, so it was in 2017 where I trained for my fight, for a kickboxing fight, Glory Rules. So if you're familiar with like Glory kickboxing, it was basically gonna be that style. And I had to lose about 20 pounds, which was not good for like my height or anything. So it was kind of unhealthy to do, but I did it. And then my opponent pulled out of the fight the week of. So I was like, yo, this is ridiculous. Like, I can't, like, I just lost 20 pounds for you. But then I decided I'm just going to go to wrestling. Like, I'm not going to deal with this. But I would love to like do that again, because I appreciated that experience. I learned a lot about myself mentally and physically, just how my body really works. I got to know myself a lot more through that process. So I don't mind doing it again. It's just, it has to be like a good time, you know?
It's funny that I was about to ask the similar question, but in the MMA sphere. So I can only assume it's a similar answer in this case.
Yeah, very similar. And I also have to up my ground game. So it's going to be stand up for right now.
Talk to me about Women's Wrestling Army. You had a really big experience there, and also just the general importance of like women's wrestling and representation. You worked with Mission Pro Wrestling is another one that obviously puts a lot of emphasis on women's wrestling. Talk to me about those experiences and why they're important.
Yeah, so it's very important to me because I always, anywhere I go, I always try and look to see like, how is this going to influence me? Like, who is this person? Like, I really pay attention to that. And if I don't get a good experience out of it, it kind of brings me down in a way. So like getting into women's wrestling army, like Maria's there and she's been through so much. She knows. She's been through like almost every promotion. Like she definitely gets the business. So it was automatically great to have her as a leader. And I met Maria at Ring of Honor at first because she approached me about doing a couple of the tapings. And then she brought up her new promotion. But the whole locker room is great. So many different styles in that locker room. And the way that Maria is able to work with each of us and see how she can kind of upgrade us in a way is awesome. Because that's what I always hope for. If someone wants to work with me or if I'm going into a promotion, I always hope that this person actually wants to work with me, try to like put me up in some sort of way, build me, you know? So that's exactly what she was doing and trying to work on with each person. And I appreciate that. And I'm sure all the other women in the locker room do too.
My last one for you, Janai, is just overall future goals in wrestling. Like, what are you looking to fully accomplish in the next 5 to 10 years?
So really, I thought about that recently, and I just want to continue to represent who I am, because I've just been very comfortable that way. And with the way that my path has been going, I've been very satisfied with it. And so I'm just all up for the journey when it comes to wrestling. Like outside of wrestling, I have other goals. Like I want to eventually open my own martial arts studio. So I'm definitely working on that on the side. But overall, just stick to like the things that I love and do what I love and just be happy with it and help other people.
And my last question for you: one opponent, one stipulation, one match. What's the dream scenario?
Me versus Miyu Yamashita in an I Quit match. It's definitely going to have to be in Japan.
Let's go. Let's will that into existence. I love it.
Yes.
Janai Kai, thank you for joining us. You can catch Janai this Saturday, July 22nd at Smash Wrestling's Can USA Classic. She's going to take on LuFisto. Tons of other stars on the card. Rosemary's there. Jessica from Impact as well. You can catch Allie the Bunny. She's going to be there as well. So many stars. Go check them out. It's going to be London, Ontario this Saturday. Janai, please plug your social media. Plug what you got coming up.
Yeah, so my social media is Janai_Kai on Twitter and Instagram. I also have Patreon where I post a lot of vlogs. It's patreon.com/Janai Kai. And then my YouTube channel, since I'm streaming on there, you can just search Janai Kai and you'll probably see my channel pop up first.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Janai. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to teaming with you and beating up Yo-Yo.
Yes.
Yes. Beating up everybody. We're kicking everybody.
Kicking everybody. All right.
All right.
Thank you,
Have a good one.